Welcome to Payday Pawn Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching Payday Pawn Vlogs. It means a lot for us. Also, I met many wonderful people through this YouTube channel. Thanks for being part of Payday Pawn Vlogs, and keep subscribing and commenting and help us grow. Thanks for your comments, okay? And many comments and questions, we take it seriously. Previously, many people have asked questions about guns, and specifically the question that sticks to my mind is, many of you are asking, can I own a homemade gun or manufacture a gun at home? Owning a homemade gun and stipulations and process and all that. Is it legal to own gun? Can I resell the gun? Can I transfer the gun that are made at home? All these questions we will try to answer, and please make sure you understand that this is not a legal advice. Okay, be clear about that. It's not a legal advice, because state to state there are different things that you follow. In every state there's going to be different law, and there are subchapters and the subsections of the laws. So I am not an attorney to give you a solid legal advice on that one. Please be clear about that. What we're talking about is general laws that are available everywhere on internet to all of us. So we're going to sum up those things and see, is it legal to make a homemade gun, buy the parts and manufacture the gun, and then if you want to resell it, transfer it, how can you do it? So let's get started. We have a Second Amendment, and the Second Amendment is a huge thing in the United States, okay? Many times people understand in a brief manner, or maybe sum up, I have right to have guns or carry guns or many. So what it is really, many people have comprehended this law mistakenly too far and stretched it too far to their own personal good. That's not how the laws work. Second Amendment clearly entitles us, the U.S. citizens, law-abiding citizens that are not felon, domestic violent people, and many other restrictions that apply to it. Violations like that, felonies, or domestic violence, murders, many other international crime, national crimes and all that. That's totally different thing. But in a simple context, Second Amendment allows us to own a gun, keep in the house for personal safety, and carry the gun in public with the proper licensing, okay? It does that. And in some states, there is no licensing. You can carry a concealed weapon without any licensing. Again, check the laws about that, because these laws are very detailed, and they have subsections and a small section. You can miss one word in a law and miscomprehend the whole legal aspect of that law. So in general, owning a homemade gun and manufacturing a homemade gun is illegal, okay, in many states. You just can't do it. Why would you do it? Intentions behind those things, they matter, because our legal system in the United States is intention based and strongly really comprehends that what was the intention to create, to resell or keep and all that. Law has the sensitivity to those ideas. Second Amendment is not unlimited. However, many people, they take it in their own comprehension, and they sort of understand in a broad manner of this law. Like, that law covers everything. My guns and my carrying and my home and all that. Unfortunately, law is not like that. It's not like that. So creating guns at your home or altering guns at your home or making machine guns and stuff like that, that's a very deep area to really explore. So you, my dear, have to have a complete knowledge of things before you can even touch it, because our laws are very complicated and yet they're never simple. Okay, so I'm not stopping you from anything you're doing, but this is just a good idea that if you want to involve in homemade guns and stuff like that, just make sure you check the whole landscape of laws about that before you involve in that, or get the license and be able to manufacture or put together or assemble the guns and resell. That's perfectly fine. Control, legislations, and homemade guns. Okay, 1968, GCA introduced a law that requires people to have a license to manufacture and deliver and release the gun or resell it. Okay. However, that law has been there for a long time, and under that law there are some restrictions, like background checks and who to buy the gun and sell to, who can buy the guns and not, and what have you. All these things, they are in those laws and subsections. But can you legally really do it? Yes, there's a gray area in that, because the same law that was GCA introduced in 1968, however, it never says that you can't do it. Okay, again, from 1968 to now, I think that there have been many changes made, so it'll be a good idea to check and make sure that you are doing a legal thing and you are putting together a legal gun that will not get you in trouble. Okay, because I just pulled up US Supreme Court laws and stuff like that, and it says it does not prohibit people to have guns, making guns on their own personal use. But the thing is, the personal use, many of the questions that I got from you guys, they were about, can I make the gun, alter the gun, make machine guns and resell it for profit? No, dear, no, you don't need to do it. Okay, that's a bunch of trouble. You can't do that. Okay, so just be clear. Again, check with the law department. Okay, the local police, ask questions. Don't presume things just because you read it somewhere, or you studied it and you legalize yourself to do so. You can't do that. But again, between the law, 1968 GCA law that clearly requires people to have a bunch of things, and especially background checks and who can deliver, and people that manufacture and resell the gun, they should have a federal license to appropriate these guns. But again, that leaves that area where you can have your homemade gun for personal use. But again, there are so many stipulations that you're gonna have to consider and face before you can sell, buy, or I will say, in a nutshell, not a good idea to manufacture a homemade gun with the intention to resell and make some profit and make extra profits. You can do all this by legally obtaining a license. See, during my studies, I've noticed many things. Many people have gotten themselves into deep troubles handling guns, making guns, delivering guns, selling guns on the streets, all these things, making quick cash on the guns, all these things. But that raises a question: can a felon carry a gun? So most of the states in the United States, they prohibit felons to own guns or carry guns or display guns or use guns. That's a clear-cut law all across the borders, okay? And many states, they have gone so far into that, like how long you've been felon. Even some misdemeanors in California, like in last 10 years, if you have some misdemeanors, and they're not going to let you own the guns. And many people, I think they don't know this. They don't know this, that you can have, like I say, every state has refined those laws to their own needs and comprehension of law that fits their ideas. Okay, so felons in our country, in the United States, they cannot own. Let's understand it. Let's be clear about that. Okay, and even if you have any background and you on our channel, if you ask a question, please understand that there's no need for that question, because if you have any kind of felony or misdemeanor that prohibits you from owning a gun, that's not a good idea. Who else cannot own a homemade gun? Great question, right? Because I said in our country, in the United States, the laws are not simple. They might, comprehensions of people are simple. I have a right to carry. I can own a gun. Right to just keep a gun inside the house. What if somebody breaks in? Right? Unfortunately, law does not think like we think. The law is like a black and white, underlines that if you're not supposed to have guns, you will not have guns. And this law is not just subject to the felons and people that have difficulties with their background and stuff like that. It's not only limited to them that they can't own the guns. There are many other peoples too, and them people are like people that have any kind of mental illness, illegal drug users, alcoholics. I don't know if it covers or not, but I think drug user, alcoholic, wherever your mind is tempered, you're not supposed to have gun. And that includes domestic violent people, and then many other violations where you have been told by the judge that you're not going to own a gun. Okay, so that homemade gun or any gun, you can't own it, can't distribute it, can't sell it, resell it, or maybe buy it. Okay, you can't do that. So let's be understanding, because the goal over here is to make things safe homes, safe people, and safe society, states, and United States. Legally came to United States. They entered from some border and they reside inside the United States. They're not supposed to have any gun rights. Clearly, they are not supposed to have any gun rights, and they must not own a gun or use a gun in the United States. That's clear. Also applies to military personnel that dishonorably discharge from the military for any reasons. They're not supposed to have guns. And it's just very easy to be naive about things and miscomprehend and misjudge things, and I don't know type deal. The law does not understand those things. It's clear-cut things. You should know your laws. You should know your difficulties. And if you're a felon or any of the illegal immigrant or fugitive, or you got the outstanding warrants and all that, you're not supposed to touch the gun, right? So cute, right? To own a gun. Yes, you can own it, but own it legally, because illegal guns, they are a bunch of trouble, and don't involve in that. Don't get your troubles deeper. You see what I'm talking about? Don't get your troubles deeper. If you already have so many legal problems, don't add another heap of problems. A 1968 GCA law that talks about the guns, and at the end of that section of law, it does not prohibit people to have homemade guns, and they can make homemade guns. But The modern ways of making homemade guns, ever since 1968 and now, many things have changed. Many computer aspects have changed, and many modern machinery has been introduced to people to manufacture the guns, or parts and things are easier. Okay, in past, those homemade guns, they were crude. Okay, they have difficulties, moving, firing, getting stuck, and all those things. Versus now, in the modern times, things are different, And yes, you can put together a gun and keep it to yourself. Also, how you can make these guns is now you can 3D print it. Again, follow the laws. Laws, they change every time. Every time we have some incident, U.S. Senate, they introduce new laws because we want to make this country safe. We want to make United States safe. So the guns evolutionary process, is continued on, and many things have changed. Many things have changed, and you can make your homemade gun for your use, okay? But there's so many stipulations that we're gonna be talking about them. We're gonna talk briefly about that. Any guns that are manufactured inside your home or barns or wherever you do the gunsmithing yourself without license, that's called the ghost gun. And why they call them ghost gun? Because most of the ghost guns, they don't have the serial number, and serial number is to trace the guns as far as where the gun came from, who was the manufacturer, and all that. So ghost guns don't have it. These days, a lot of people are buying gun kits online easily and put together their own guns and stuff like that, And many of them, they don't have serial numbers. The law enforcement is very frustrated about that thing, because those things, they frustrate them because they can't trace gun. Anybody can use a gun and throw it away, and that's just a piece of iron sitting over there. The police can't really, investigate the cases. That just makes it so hard for people to. But my thing is, don't involve yourself in that. Don't get those guns, kits and stuff like that, because if you're putting it together, and God forbid, if something bad happens, all the burdens comes to you, okay? And is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. You can do, since you have Second Amendment, you can buy and, go to the dealerships and pawn shops and everywhere, buy the guns. Why not take that path, which is much safer, okay? And people are also, printing now, 3D printing, because they can get the blueprints from the online sources, and they can easily 3D print the guns for themselves, okay? So many things have changed, but there is a legal way to do so too, because some of the dealerships, they do sell legal kits for the guns where they have the serial numbers, which you can put it together at your house, okay? To avoid all that ghost gun effect and things attached to it, I think it's a better idea to, if you must have a gun that you want to manufacture yourself or put together yourself, go to a dealership and buy a legal kit with the serial number, and that's going to be great for you and your journey with the gun, okay? And that also will enable you to kind of transfer the gun, if you sell it. Because guns without serial numbers, they are not transferable. Even though street people, they might have been doing that for a long time, but we talk about legal stuff, and legally what that really enables you to own or disown or not own, or what can get you in trouble. We talk about that stuff, okay? We never make videos to really promote any kind of illegal activities, because our main goal on this channel is to make things safer, legal, and good for you. So you can really benefit from those things, knowledge, or whatever. If you do for fun, just check with the local state laws and make sure that you're covered with that, and go to a legal dealership and buy. If you have the interest to manufacture and put together a gun, I think that's the best way to do it. Then you can bring it home and manufacture it and make it. So owning a ghost gun, I think overall I will say is a bad idea. Why would you do it? Because there's so many millions of guns out there at the pawn shops, at the dealerships, at the manufacturer's places that you can buy on your fingertip. I'm going to briefly talk about finished and unfinished receiver. What they mean by that is, finished means a completed gun, that was manufactured from the manufacturer and has complete serial numbers, comes in a box, come with magazines, and is completely complete. That's a finished gun. Okay. On the other hand, unfinished receiver or unfinished gun, they call it 80%. That means in most states in the United States, it's legal to buy those kits, and then you can convert them into the guns. It depends on your skill and tooling involved, or if there is a tooling involved in that, you can do all that. Or simply, some of them you can put them together, and most of them, they don't have the serial number. It is not having the serial number that puts you in a borderline on the red line, that if you use that gun and resell and all that, it can have stipulation, it can have problems attached to it. Okay, make sure you look into that deeply, okay, and get the legal advice, and before you involve that, because guns are not toys. Many times people buy it, and what really happens is, a lot of these guns, unfinished guns, 80% guns, people that buy from online, that attracts a lot of people that cannot own the legal guns, but they can buy those kits, they can manufacture it. Can they use it? Can they carry it? That's a big question. And that responsibility goes to you, that how deeply you want to understand it, and where you see yourself with the legal system. Okay, that's a tall order. Okay, so buy a finished gun. Okay, that's just simple. Make it legal. If you're not supposed to have a gun, don't own a gun. But if you're legal to have a gun, you can have as many you want to. United States of America has a freedom for us to own the guns. And those freedoms are sometimes too much freedom. But still, enjoy that legally, and make it safe, make your family safe. Own the legal guns, carry the legal gun, and be proud to be an American, okay? Law has the flexibility where we can alter that subsection to fit the local need of a city, county, and the state. Last but not least, are guns required to have additional identifying marks? Okay. Federal law generally does not require a homemade gun to have an identifying marker, excluding NFA firearms, as long as it remains in the possession of the original maker. Okay, the key over here is original maker, not transferring, not selling for the benefits of you and financial gains and all that. Just in your possession is legal up until then. However, if the gun is subsequently sold, given away, or traded, it should be marked prior to its transfer. Okay, if you want to do it legally, then you gotta find the way, okay, find the law and system that you can mark it, serial number it, check with your state, just to make sure that you are involved in a legal business. Okay, the ATF suggests that all homemade firearms be marked with a serial number as a safeguard in the event of firearm is lost or stolen, and this marking may be required if the gun is transferred in the future state, and local government may also have their own law regulating regarding the identification of the homemade law. So finally we got to the point. It boils down to only one thing. It boils down to one thing and only one thing is, if you want to manufacture, if you want to transfer, if you want to resell, if you want to make money, if you want to start your business, only one thing that you have to do is talk to an attorney that deals with that kind of stuff. That's just very important. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your comments. Please like, subscribe, and be the part of our journey and make this channel more safer, better, more information is coming your way, so you can do things better the legal way and create money and create businesses, get in a pawn business, open a gun store, all these things. I will leave you with these thoughts. Thanks for watching Payday Pawn Vlogs, and we will be back in another video. Till that time, please take care of yourself, take care of your families, start business, and holidays coming. Happy holidays. You will see me in the next video. Till then, goodbye.